Paul Thomas, Seneca Lake Wine Trail here with Chris Stamp, co-owner of Lakewood Vineyards. Chris, just give us an intro if you would, and tell us a little bit about Lakewood Vineyards.
Oh, we're a family-owned winery on the shores of Seneca Lake. Been here since 1951 growing grapes. Still in the family entirely, and with next generation coming up.
Yeah, so tell me, many wineries, of course, as you are well aware here in the area, do have family members helping out. But yours is one of the ones that I think has probably got about the highest number of total family members helping in some way, shape, or form. Can you rattle off all the many family members that are involved?
With fear of forgetting someone, we have my wife and myself, Liz and me, Ben and Amelia this summer. Those are both my kids. My daughter Abby's on the West Coast working for another winery. My mom is here. My brother Dave is here. My brother's wife Kay, so my sister-in-law Kay, and my other brother Dave's wife Erin is here. Teresa works here part-time.
Your mom.
And of course my mom.
The big boss.
Yes, the big cheese, that's right.
All right, we're standing here amidst your vineyards, here on the edge of them. Your winery's surrounded by them. Tell us a little bit about how many acres you've got. Is this all of them?
No, you're only seeing a small portion. The slope gets a lot steeper after the crest there, and we have a lot of grapes down below that, and that's actually where probably more of our premium varieties are, because they're closer to the lake. It's a steeper slope, a slightly lower pH down there, or higher pH in the soil. We have grapes up above the road. We got grapes down the road a mile. We just made another property purchase, which came with some more acreage of grapes. There's a block over here of about 10 acres of Riesling. So yeah, we're kind of scattered around, but we've kind of, it's all in this one area.
Yeah. So it's easy to get to and just more efficient use of Dave's time.
They haven't been making any more land in this area, so we've been purchasing the stuff next to us when the opportunity arises and trying to keep it in agriculture.
Yep, excellent. And tell us, how did you get into the business?
I was kind of born into it. I grew up on this grape farm, ran around in this field where the winery building is when I was a kid, and my father started us working as soon as we had our first pair of work boots, and they make them real small, so it was early on, and we were driving tractor and working in the vineyards. So as I grew up in the grape vineyards, I got interested in wine. We didn't have a winery at the time. We started the winery, we made our first vintage in 1988, and the winery started and opened in 1989.
Mm-hmm. And how did your parents get into it?
Well, my grandfather moved up here. Well, my dad grew up on it kind of too. He was a teenager when, after World War II, my grandfather started dental practice in Maryland, and he'd been on a carrier or a battleship during World War II in the Philippines. So after the war was over, he was a dentist, and he started a practice in Maryland, decided he didn't like it, it was boring. They say he was down in the mouth. But he had family up in this area, so he and his wife and their 3 kids all moved up to this area, and he bought what is present-day Lakewood Vineyards. Okay. And they started growing grapes and strawberries and tomatoes and anything that they could to make a living. And as the years went by, they found that growing grapes was probably the most profitable way or sustainable way to keep the farm going. So it evolved eventually into a grape farm.
Gotcha.
And so my dad took it over from my grandfather eventually and expanded the plantings quite a bit. And now my brother Dave is doing the grape growing.
All right, it's division of labor between you and Dave really are doing a lot of what everyone thinks of a winery doing.
Yeah, you know, as we've grown, we've kind of settled into our roles, and Dave's expertise really is in the vineyards, and mine is in the cellar.
And so, on that note, tell us, if you would, about some of your favorite wines you guys make, or something exceptional or stand out.
Geez, we don't have time to tell you about all our exceptional wines.
They're all exceptional.
I really hope so. I mean, that is our aim. We don't short shrift anything that we're making. We give everything our utmost attention, whether it's a $8 bottle of Niagara or a $30 bottle of Reserve Cabernet Franc. You know, they all. But that said, there's always, the latest release tends to be your favorite because you're all excited about it and it's something new that you're offering to the public. And recently we had our 25th anniversary Blanc de Noir sparkling wine. It's 100% Pinot Noir made into in a classic French champagne method into a beautiful sparkling wine. It's a 2011 vintage, spent 2 years on the yeast in the bottle, and we just started disgorging it and offering it. And
excellent.
Beautiful, beautiful wine.
Excellent. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, come and try some of our wonderful Rieslings, and we just bottled our Velvet Muscat, which is a rising star in the Finger Lakes.
Yeah, I hear it more and more
wine.
often referred to.
It's done as a sweeter wine here, and I think in most places, but just delicious fruit, and I think that we're going to see a lot more of it. I love the grape, and it's just a nice alternative to Riesling when you need one.
Excellent.
Which is rare.
Chris Stamp, Lakewood Vineyards, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Paul.